The Toronto International Film Festival Midnight's Children Exclusive continues. I'm with one of the children that were born at midnight. I'm with Siddharth, and he plays the character of Shiva in the film. Siddharth, thank you so much for talking to Filmicafe.
My pleasure.
This day has been hectic.
I don't think any actor will tell you he loves talking about a film he's been in, but you know, it's part of the job, and you eventually learn to like it. And especially when it's a special film, then it kind of becomes a bit easier, and this is a very special film.
The character and the role you play is of a gentleman called Shiva. I don't know if gentleman is the right word. He's a little bit rough, rogued up guy.
Shiva's just a very, very tragic character because he's very angry, and he feels he's been wronged, and it's very common if you kind of traveled across the length and breadth of India. There's a huge sense of social injustice that people think has been done, meted upon them. So he is that kind of a character, and he doesn't know how to kind of channel that anger. So he's a pretty badass villain, and I'm very excited to have got to play that for the first time in my life.
So when did you find out that this was happening? Midnight Children was happening?
I think Deepa, I don't know where she saw my work. I think she probably saw Striker or Rangde Basanti, and she kind of called up and she said she wanted me to play Shiva. And initially there was a huge problem with dates, and I'm so glad she persisted, and I have to say that she made me do her film, and I'm so happy that better wisdom prevailed and that she had the patience to kind of want me bad enough.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky that she persevered. And it's really been a very exciting experience because I'm a very small part of a very big film, and just the experience of working with Deepa on a film that's based on a book written by Salman Rushdie is, I think that's just a story for the future, right? It's just a great story, and it's not an opportunity you miss out. And I'm very happy that it's taken a whole year of waiting after finishing shoot for to come and see the film in Toronto. Yeah. And it's I think an experience I'm never going to forget. So tomorrow is when I actually see the film with a full house, and I can't wait. It's very exciting, and I actually am now being able to detach myself from the making of the film completely, and to just watch it as an outsider, peeping in. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Being a part of that puzzle and being a character in this massive canvas of this ensemble cast, who did you interact with on the sets, and what was the shooting experience of this film?
I actually had a very, very short kind of time that I spent with the crew of this film. They had a really tough time making this film for 4 months in Sri Lanka, and luckily the first ADs were kind enough to schedule all of my work together so as to finish me off and send me back home. So I think I shot for about 9 or 10 days on this film effectively. But so in terms of interaction, a lot of my work was with Satya and Shreya, and I was very fortunate to meet and work with Sarita Chaudhary, who thankfully now, because of this film, is a very dear friend, and I've learned a lot from her. She's an unbelievable actor, and and she's just an institution according to me. So, and it was really fun, and I had one grievance that I couldn't work with so many of the other actors who were in the film, like Seema Biswas and Anupam Kher and Rajat Kapoor. I would have liked to be in scenes with them, but you can't have everything. But it was a short and sweet shoot, and I'll always remember this as one of the most short and enjoyable kind of experiences of my film career. Yeah.
How do you get in the headspace of a character like Shiva? How do you figure this rogue out?
I actually didn't overthink it too much. I usually am somebody who believes in a method and prep and a lot of application before you get on a film set, but this one was just a very instinctive performance, and I always say that Deepa did all the hard work, and I just went and got to be Shiva. And in a film where he's the antithesis of everything that happens in the film, he's like an opposing force. And so the better the rest of the cast is, the easier my job is, because I have to stand in front of them and become the opposite, right? And so it was fun to be a badass, old school kind of a villain, and I really relished that chance. And I always say there are two kinds of actors: one that can really become other human beings, and others who just kids playing dress up, and I belong to the second category. So it's good to put on a moustache and sunglasses and an army uniform and kind of play a major. It's really cool.
Well, the book obviously is a universal book. Everybody has read it or has some kind of attachment to it. Do you think the film, what makes Midnight Children, the film, a universal film that will appeal not just to Indians and Pakistanis but to everybody else?
I think it's a film about a coming of age of people, of countries, and it's the kind of film that really is so important for young people to see everywhere, especially in India. and Pakistan, and and for people to see history and the present and the future kind of mesh together and become destiny, and it's just one of those sweeping experiences I don't think you should miss. And I think lovers of the book are in for a treat, because there will be many debates on many over many chais and coffees over what Deepa and Salman have done with one of the greatest books that's ever been written, right? So it's just, I love films that start conversations, and you can't find a better conversation starter than Midnight's Children.
What I'd like to end our conversation off with would be, obviously you mentioned Rang De Basanti, you mentioned Striker, Midnight's Children now to be added to that list. How do you pick what work do you want to do? Do you have a certain, is it instinctive in that sense, or how do you pick the films that you want to be a part of?
I do very little work in Bombay. I do most of my work in the South, and I now produce my own films as well. So for me it's most important that if it's a film that I've been offered as an actor, primarily it should be a film I want to see in the theatre as a layman, and secondly I should think I'm going to either learn something new or thoroughly enjoy doing that particular role. So if these two things are tick marked, then I accept a film, and trust me, that's not something that happens very easily.
Lastly, absolutely lastly, what is it that you'll take away from Midnight's Children?
I think I take away a piece of history, and I get to show it to people and say that I was part of it. It's like, you were there when the Berlin Wall was broken down, and you say, I was there when Midnight's Children was made as a film, and I'm never going to forget that.
Well, very, very heartiest congratulations on this moment.
Thank you so much.
And like I've been saying to everybody that I've spoken to so far, may it last much longer than Midnight.
Thank you.
All the very best.
Thank you so much.